Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The Hamptons. We see the pictures, don't we? The sprawling estates, the perfectly manicured lawns, the golden light of sunset reflecting off the ocean. It's the kind of place you imagine movie stars and TV hosts living a life of effortless bliss. And for George Stephanopoulos and his hilarious, quick-witted wife, Allie Wentworth, it mostly is. But as they recently discovered, even in paradise, one wrong move can turn your dream home into a $2 million nightmare. You see, a few years back, George and Allie decided to buy a place in the Hamptons. And like many of us who fall in love with a home, they had big plans. It was this charming old house, Allie shared on a recent podcast, her voice full of that classic self-deprecating humor. And we were like, oh, we can do this. We can manage a little renovation ourselves. Sound familiar? It's that intoxicating cocktail of HGTV binge watching and a naive belief in our own handyman skills. We all have that moment where we think a little paint, a little elbow grease, what could go wrong? For George and Allie, that moment came with a seemingly simple task, replacing a few windows. But these weren't just any windows. They were the original, beautiful, but structurally suspect windows of a centuries-old home. And the plan, hatched with the best of intentions, was to replace them with something a little more hurricane-proof. Because, let's be real, you can't live on the coast without a healthy respect for Mother Nature's mood swings. They hired a contractor, a seemingly reliable guy who promised to get the job done right. And for a while, everything was going according to plan. The old windows came out, the new ones were being prepped. Life was good. They were living the dream. Until it started to rain. And not just rain. It was a torrential downpour. One of those Noah, get the ark kind of storms that seemed to come out of nowhere. And in the middle of this deluge, a terrible, sinking feeling began to set in. The contractor, in his rush to get the job done, had left a few critical gaps that were now acting as a direct invitation for the storm to come inside. Allie, with her trademark comedic timing, described the scene as, "It was like a river was running through our living room. I'm talking waterfalls." I looked at George and he was just standing there holding a tiny bucket, looking like he was about to burst into tears. The water was everywhere. It was seeping into the floors, dripping from the ceiling and pooling in corners. The beautiful, newly renovated rooms were being destroyed, inch by agonizing inch. The contractor who had promised to be there was nowhere to be found. The reality of the situation hit them like a tidal wave. This wasn't just a little leak. This was a structural nightmare. The estimated damage? A jaw-dropping, heart-stopping $2 million. That's not just a new sofa and some fresh paint. We're talking ruined foundations, mold remediation, and a complete rebuild of the entire downstairs. Their Hamptons paradise was on the verge of becoming a colossal, waterlogged liability. So how did they narrowly escape this financial catastrophe? Well, a few things came together in a truly remarkable way. First, a neighbor, seeing the frantic activity, came over and with some serious building knowledge, helped them patch the most critical holes until a real expert could arrive. Second, they had insurance. Good insurance. The kind of insurance you hope you never have to use but are eternally grateful for when you do. And finally, they had each other. In the midst of the chaos, the stress, and the sheer terror of watching their life savings wash away, they were a team. They were bailing water, laughing at the absurdity of it all, and reminding each other that it was just stuff. Allie recounted, "We're okay. That's what really matters." This story is more than just a cautionary tale about trusting contractors or the importance of good insurance. It's a reminder that no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, life is messy. Things go wrong. And sometimes the biggest disaster can be a blessing in disguise. For George and Allie, It was a moment that brought them closer, a story they can now laugh about, and a reminder that true wealth isn't measured in dollars and cents, but in the people you share your life with. So, the next time you're on a DIY kick, maybe take a moment to double check your work. And if you're ever faced with a financial disaster, remember the Hamptons hurricane. Sometimes, even when it looks like your life is being washed away, all you need is a good friend, a solid plan, and a big old bucket to get you through the storm.